or no? Hello. Hello. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight for you guys. So I'm sing along. Do it. You can hear me. Is the mic on? I'm really confused. It's not on, but you can still hear me.
Yeah.
I'm talking loud enough.
Just project your voice.
Okay.
Remember those acting shows?
So.
We got a microphone.
And now I'm going to scream. Hello? Yay! So, I'm really sorry if this is a bit wooden. I'm reading it from a script, which I am kind of married to. But, hello, and thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Rachael Minott, and I'm one of the artists whose work is being presented here at the Yurt. And many of you will know Gabby Gilmore. She is not only the other artist in the show, but she's also the supervisor here at the Yurt. And she has been a really intrinsic part in making this space what it is today. So before I start, I just really want to thank St. Katherine's Precinct for having us and giving this space to reflect on what was a really extraordinary experience. So I'll be reflecting on my overall experience of taking part in the Ghetto Biennale. And unfortunately, it's not that cohesive. And later, Gabby will also be performing her stories, and they aren't as cohesive either. So if you do have any actual questions that you want us to answer, please feel free to talk to us afterwards, and we'll get back to you in a prompt fashion, I'm sure. So, what strikes you when you arrive in Haiti is that there is a vivid and well-defined cultural aesthetic present everywhere you go. This becomes even more hyper-realized when you are within the Grand Rue, where the artists live and work around each other constantly. Space is different there, and space for art is different, but is still very much present. But where an art object would normally be shown within a blank space with blank walls, the spaces there are full. Pieces are on top of one another. It's not a matter of an aesthetic choice, but a result of space being a premium and exposure being seen as a solution. Nevertheless, the layering upon layering of our objects, paintings, sculptures, performances has a huge impact. I wonder, is this how the aesthetic for the Cabinet of Curiosities began? Because so much of what we know to be true has its origins in Haiti. It's really true. My name, it's Haitian. It's Rachael, or Rachael. Minott actually means cable tie in Creole. But my smile, apparently that's Haitian. The way I dance, that's Haitian. My general way, it's Haitian. And regardless of what can truthfully be claimed to be Haitian, when you're there, you can believe that everything began in Haiti. They have a saying that states that there are 7 portals to the spiritual world in Haiti. 7 in the rest of the world, and 7 in the rest of the universe. And while you're there, or while I was there, I genuinely felt that there was this concentration of energy. And maybe it was a spiritual energy, and maybe it was the energy of resilience. And perhaps the two are the same, but this energy made the impossible seem possible. So the Ghetto Biennale is an international call to artists to come to Haiti and make work in the same conditions that Haitian artists make it. It aims to be a cultural exchange, and it certainly is that, amongst other things. It was a really great experience, and it was a really difficult experience. Never before have I had to confront all of the privileges in my life and reassess what I felt to be right and to be wrong. It is beyond my nature to critically analyze my day as I live it, and to respond artistically to my surroundings while following rules set out before encountering it. Much of the experience of the Biennale felt wrong and distasteful, and at times I felt I was being encouraged to behave as a European anthropologist visiting Haiti so that I could analyze it and write its identity for it. When things went wrong, and everyone sat around smoking cheap cigarettes and attempting to understand it from a higher perspective, I wanted to run away. And while I'm no stranger to an identity crisis, the Ghetto Biennale does suffer an extreme case of cultural confusion. What is it? Is it an art festival for visitors to engage with, or is it an experience to have? A residency through which you can expand your mind? And if it's the latter, which I suspect is closer to the truth, who benefits? It's certainly not balanced. One walks this constant tightrope of extreme privilege and poverty. A circus act encountered every day, in every second, by the mere fact that we are there as foreigners and can always leave. But that's why we were there, because we could go to them and they could not come to us. The Ghetto Biennale began, as rumor has it, as a reaction to the Venice Biennale, when artists from the Grand Rue were invited to take part in one of the most prestigious events in the art world, for one able to attain a visa to accompany their own work. So, international artists are now invited to come and work collaboratively with artists in the Grand Rue, on their turf, with their rules, in what would be dubbed, however problematically, the Ghetto Biennale. It is a flawed program, and there are some issues that still bother me about the whole process. Though it undeniably benefited the artists of the Grand Rue, providing international connections, creating a sudden influx in the art economy, and truly being a space for cultural exchange, it is we, the foreigners, that undoubtedly benefited the most. We now have the prestige of it being involved in a biennale and the intrigue of being associated with the exotic. For the fourth Ghetto Biennale, there were 105 artists involved. 50% were Haitian and the rest were international. It took place over 4 weeks, during which time visiting artists had to make their proposed work with assistance from Haitian artists, not in collaboration. Had to work with curators to attempt to make a cohesive space out of what is someone's house and home, and to learn from Haitians what it is to be Haitian. Simultaneously, the Haitian artists could present work that they had already made and were expected to exhibit them in their own studios, which often doubled as a family home. And in their spare time, they had to assist the visiting artists and help them to learn about Haiti as a Haitian. We worked primarily with a man named Guerly. He had been involved in the last 3 Ghetto Biennales and made and sold totems to all the artists involved. Gabby and myself were 2 of the youngest and least experienced artists involved in the Biennale, and as such, we had no clue how to behave. We had never paid anyone to make work for us. We weren't used to solving problems with money, and we were not able to engage fully with the intellectual dissection of Haitian masculinity, political insecurity, and economic destabilization. People also just didn't listen to us. We would say, no, and people would hear, maybe. We would say, we can do this, and people would just laugh. Our project was very controversial, particularly to the international artists. We had come as 2 seemingly white European girls to Haiti to build a church. We were recreating the Holy Trinity Cathedral and all of the murals that once existed within it. We made it to 1/12 of the scale and using materials that we could buy in the local market. The actual cathedral had been destroyed in 2010 and the murals with it. The murals had been masterpieces by Haitian artists that depicted Christian narratives using voodoo imagery and black figures in what was considered a naive aesthetic. Our project was partly a homage to this beautiful building and partly an exploration into the relationship that could be had between spirituality, art, and space. When the project was finished, they told us that we worked like men because we had constructed a piece and we had attempted to do it all by ourselves. We didn't, of course. We worked with Guerly on all aspects of the piece. Anywhere we pushed away from general collaboration, he would resist us. When Gabby wanted to cut the pieces with a saw, he would take it from her hand and attach them in a different way than she intended. When I wanted to paint, he would reach up over my shoulder and pluck the paintbrush from my hand and paint over my work with symbols of voodoo imagery he believed should be there. Our interaction with Guerly was frustrating and annoying. And it led to some of the most unexpected and wonderful aspects of our work. With him, we navigated this complicated relationship, the sudden elevation from fabricators of our work to conceptual architects with assistants. However, him not listening to us forced us to genuinely corroborate, willingly or not. With Guerly, we created something wonderful. He invited us to meet his family, he invited us to dance, he ensured we were never far from a bear, and he made sure we were as far away from danger as possible. He was one of the many Haitians that protected and educated us, and though the whole process was difficult, and at times truly harrowing, though I'm fraught with guilt at the extreme privilege in which I live, and the instinct I have to protect that privilege, I'll probably go back. I'll probably apply again next year, because the aesthetic, and the energy in Haiti is addictive, and I believe I can go back and be better, and do better than I did when I approached it so naively. Thank you.
Make it higher. That doesn't often happen to me. You're wearing heels. Like.